Fraser's Ridge played host to newcomers Tom Christie, played by Mark Lewis Jones, and his two children in the latest season of Outlander. With a while still to go before the next season is released on Starz, Allan, Christie star Alexander Vlahos and the cast have opened up about the huge impact the death of Malva, Jessica Reynolds, will have on the Frasers. Alexander and his co-stars have shared their experience of filming one of Outlander's toughest scenes, the burial of Malva Christie. Malva was found stabbed to death by an unassuming Claire Fraser, Katrina Balfe, in a huge turning point near the end of the 6th season. Her efforts to revive her unborn baby through an emergency C-section were tragically in vain, and only served to heighten Tom's suspicion against her when she was found covered in the victim's blood. Ironically, Alexander revealed, the filming of that, weirdly, was one of the most beautiful days. However, the ideal weather conditions were in stark contrast to the bleak atmosphere on Fraser's Ridge throughout Malva's funeral. Tough, those scenes, because the emotion of the day. It was really raw, the actor added. The burial divided the two families even further as Tom struggled to reconcile his secret feelings for Claire with the possibility she could be responsible for his daughter's death. Meanwhile, Jamie Fraser, Sam Heughan, was left reeling after being accused of impregnating Malva and spurring on his wife's jealousy. "We have the Christies on one side and the Frasers on the other," Sam recalled. "And poor Malva's body with this child on top. It was dramatic, very emotional stuff." The death of Malva will have the biggest impact on the Ridge's Presbyterian new resident, Tom. Malva and Allan's fundamentalist father was clearly crushed by his daughter's death, but his religious views meant she was unable to receive the burial he would have wanted for her. Interview, Insight, Theory, Mark explained, "It's really unraveling. We see Tom's worldview that Malva is not to be buried alongside God-fearing folks. She's a WE, and the child is a BD. And the fact that Claire is the possible perpetrator is causing so much internal conflict." As COVID restrictions meant the Starz series had to be shortened this time around, Diana Gabaldon's 6th novel, A Breath of Snow and Ashes, won't be fully resolved until the start of the next season. Until then, Alexander reflected on how another brief yet tense moment following Malva's death could have stark repercussions on the Ridge going forward. As the guests are struggling to carry Malva's coffin during the funeral, Alexander explained, "Jamie offers himself and, of course, Allan says, 'No, not you.' And as they're walking away, Allan is closest to Claire, and spots that she's going back to pick up the coffin of the child. And Allan can't think of nothing worse than her hands on that coffin. Coffins that he built, as well." Now Claire has been captured by Richard Brown, Chris Larkin, for suspected murder. It will be up to Jamie to patch things up with the Christies and bring her home in time to shelter from the imminent revolution. Outlander seasons 1 to 6 are available to stream on Starz Play.